Good day, all you wonderful people. Welcome to Adventure Together. My name's Al, trail name Lookout, and today I am continuing on my journey towards Lander, Wyoming, through this barren desert they call the Basin. And it's funny to me because all the stories that I hear of the Basin are that it's overwhelmingly hot and it's unbearable and you have to hike at night. And yeah, for 3 and a bit hours yesterday it was raining, hailing, super windy. Everything I had was wet. Well, not really, I've got a really good pack liner, but definitely when I woke up this morning everything was wet. The condensation in this area was unbelievable, really. My sleeping quilt was soaking wet. My rain jacket was still wet from yesterday. Everything, the inside of the tent, the outside of the tent was wet, and the floor of the tent was wet. There's so much condensation. And last night, because the sky cleared up, I kept the vestibule and the fly net open on my tent, and I was hoping for a crosswind, and it wasn't cold at all. So I don't know where all of this condensation has come from. But now I'm walking and it's very chilly suddenly. So I'm waiting for the sun to come up and warm me up, and later on I'm planning to dry out my tent and my sleeping quilt and my rain jacket by laying them in the sun while I have my lunch break. So there's a plan, but at the moment I feel like I'm carrying about 5 gallons of water because of the water retention on the tent and quilt. So let's carry on walking through the basin. The basin has its fair share of cactuses. I think that when Wyoming was being placed on the map, they placed it in the wrong location. It should be above New Mexico. It doesn't make any sense. You have New Mexico, which is flat and, or for the most part flat, and like this. And then Wyoming has this for half of it and then goes up into the mountains. So it should be that it goes New Mexico and then southern Wyoming continues from New Mexico, and then northern Wyoming gets sort of more mountainous, and then you've got like Yellowstone and the winds, and then it gets into Colorado, which is cold and snowy. They've put them in the wrong places. They need to be the other way around. And I think it's when they've got jigsaw pieces and they've punched them together and made it work, but it doesn't make any sense. The picture's not right. You ever get the feeling that you're being watched? We suddenly come across this amazing grassed area, and I bet this is probably where Snooze and the kid were camping last night. Flat, grassy area. What a beautiful place. It's about 7 miles away from my camp, so I probably wouldn't have made it here last night, or if I did I would have been miserable from all the mud on my shoes. And here is a water tank, and it looks like there's a spigot on the side that I can fill up water from. I saw one of your friends yesterday. You're a little more bold than he was though. You see on the barbed wire fences here, the top rung has barbs on it. the next rung has barbs on it, and the final rung is no barbs. It is barb free, and I believe that's because the wild animals around here go under the last rung of that fence, the bottom rung, and so they leave it barb free so the animals can get to and from one side and the other without catching themselves on barbs, whereas the cows are too big and they don't go past here, and also people. But yesterday that fence we had to crawl under, that was barbed for some reason. And you've got this bull right in the middle of the path here. Oh, now he's moving. Very courteous of you. Thank you. So, if you're wondering what the basin looks like, and I haven't shown you already enough, then I'll take this little spin tour with me and I'll show you. That's where we came from, and this is where we are. It's flat, it's straight, and there's no rocks and there's no roots, and there's no mud today, fortunately. So this is the sort of trail that I would have dreamed of on the Appalachian Trail. Just smooth and straight and flattish. There's a few bumps ahead, but yeah, incredible. I'm glad it's only for a short while, but it's another new experience. Wow, how incredibly kind of some people. That whole toolbox, I think it was repurposed, was full of water containers, and it was kept cool with a foil sheet over the top, and it was lovely. I've just filled up my little bottle. I think I've got enough to get me to the next water source already, so I think just taking 500 ml is enough, and I think that there's going to be plenty of water for all the hikers coming through. What a wonderfully kind thing to do. Lunchtime here in the basin, and got my tent and my rain mat out to dry. Nowhere to hang it up, so they are just draped across the weeds. Nowhere to sit, so just sit in the middle of the road. No one else is coming down here. I am a little bit worried about those thunderclouds though. Not much of a lunch break, it started raining almost immediately. Sun's out again. I guess it only wanted to interrupt my lunch, and then it wanted to leave. Hopefully it stays dry for the rest of the day. Everyone else complains that the basin is too dry, too hot, and what do I get? A lot of rainstorms, a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of hail, and a lot of wet mud. Time to share some water with the cows. Hey guys, Ooh, algae water. But I think I'll take it straight from the pipe. So, end of the day, tent up, dinner, eaten, and yeah, it was raining on and off for the entire afternoon, and I didn't even bother chucking a rain jacket on. I just walked, and 10 minutes later it would be gone, and then about half an hour later it would come back for 10 minutes, and it was just on and off and just wet, dry. So the wind was insane. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I tried to do a wrap up last night and my phone ran out of battery halfway through, and I thought it was best to just leave it to charge, and by the time it was ready to use, it was dark. So rather than just sit staring at the flash on my camera, I thought I'd do it this morning. So yesterday, which was today's vlog, I walked in the end 41 miles, and most of the afternoon it was raining on and off. Like, it rained for 10 minutes, then be clear for half an hour, and then rain for 10 minutes, and so I was constantly cold from the rain, and then I'd warm up in the sun and dry off, and it's just that cycle over and over. Through doing all those miles, I think I've hurt my right foot, so watch the next vlog to see how that works out, and hopefully it does get better and it just warms up. But for now, that's everything I have for you. Please donate to my fundraiser. I'm raising money to get impoverished children into nature for nature therapy through Widerness Foundation UK, and please share that once you have donated. But for now, that's everything I have for you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.